Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello. What's going on, folks? Welcome to the stream, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first day of winter. That is correct. If you live in the northern hemisphere, as I do, many of you do. Some of you may live in the southern hemisphere, I'm not aware. But for those of you who live in the northern hemisphere like me, today is the winter solstice. That means today is officially the longest night of the year. Supposedly, sundown's supposed to happen at 3 p.m. here today. 3 p.m. So I'm going to still be streaming my first stream, and it's going to start to become night. That is going to be freaking weird. For sure. But that's what happens. It's winter. And, ladies and gentlemen, today's officially holiday week, so I could say happy holidays to all of you. This is the week of Christmas, coming up in just a few days here. All right? That means this week is a fun and festive holiday week here on my streams. Not only will there be fun gameplay, but also some special holiday-themed festivities will be taking place during the course of this week that I hope you will join me for, and I'll talk about in just a moment. In fact, as of right now, we have named the games that will be nominated. Well, how do I say this? We have determined the games that will be played, the games that you nominated for the Christmas event. So as of right now, I am disabling the Christmas command, and I'm disabling the auto posting Christmas thingy that says, oh, post up your nominations for Christmas, because we've determined the games. All right. In fact, let me find the Christmas command and disable it if I can find it here. Where is it? There it is, Christmas. So I will delete this. Delete it. Okay, so no more Christmas command and no more auto posting of the Christmas command every 20 minutes because we've got the games locked in. Okay? So, it's going to be a great week. Christmas marathon, holiday-themed Ask the King, ongoing playthroughs, fun stuff. I'm sure many of you will be celebrating with your friends and family in a safe capacity this week. You know, remember, COVID is still out there, but in a safe capacity, be celebrating the holidays. A lot of festive foods, for sure. I know that we're going to be having some special food this week. It should be a good time for all, and I hope that you will join me for all the stuff that I'll be doing this week, which I'll just explain in a moment as I go through my schedule. Okay? So, good stuff coming. Good stuff. And before we even get to anything stream-related or business-related, I just want to say, please have a happy holidays. Please be safe. Take care. I wish you and yours a great week. Whether or not you can hang out with me all week or not, I know many of you will be busy. And that's okay. Remember that everything that I do here on my streams on Twitch gets archived over on DSPGaming on YouTube. So if you cannot be here for any of the live stream stuff this week, you can always head over to DSPGaming and get caught up after the fact at your own leisure. All right? And always remember that. I know so many people will be disappointed if they're too busy. They won't be able to be here for the live holiday stuff. But you can always get caught up. All right? Good stuff. Good stuff. So, how is everybody today? Today's, by the way, Monday, the 21st of December, 2020. Okay, good stuff all around. Hope you're all in a festive mood. Hope you're ready for a great day full of gameplay and fun streaming today. All right, let's talk about what I'm doing for this week. Let's talk about the schedule. So today, the first stream is the continuation of Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. Last time around, we left off with me in the middle of my second attempt at doing the Ichiban Confections Rice Cracker Business minigame. And I'm going to continue on with that today. And basically what we're going to try to do is get it so that I hit the top 50 corporate rankings in Japan for Ichiban Confections. And if you do, apparently you get a reward and you move on to the next segment of the minigame. I'm not going to do any more of it past that, but we need to basically finish up what we're doing to hit that top 50. And then we'll move on with the game. Okay, now, I guess you're supposed to get some money as a reward. I don't know how much money. If it's enough money, there's 2 side quests where I need 1 million yen each to do them. I'm limited to doing them until I have the million yen. So, hopefully, we'll raise enough with this minigame. If we don't, well, it is what it is. Then we'll go ahead and we'll continue the story. So, even if I make enough money, if I don't make enough money, we're still going to have some story advancement today. I know last couple of streams, it's been primarily side content. In fact, the last 2 streams, all I've pretty much done was side content. And I know some of you kind of, not that you get bored, but you're like, man, I really wish to be some story development. So we'll see today. We should definitely have enough time for story development today in some capacity. Okay? But I'm excited for Ichiban Confections because I want to succeed at business, and I want to be able to use the profits to do the missions that I'm stuck not doing yet. Okay? So let's see how it goes. All right, should be fun. Yakuza 7 is always a good time, always a blast, a chill time. We always have a great time together, and this has been one of the best games of the year to me, so I can't wait for more today. Later tonight, it's more Cyberpunk 2077 on the late stream. Now, first of all, I cannot go late tonight. It'll only be a 2-hour stream. My wife is home, and we have a lot of planning to do for this week. This week is a holiday week. We have to plan out the meals appropriately, and tomorrow we have to plan out what errands we have to do to prepare for the week. You know, pet supplies, among other things. So we'll be busy tonight. Therefore, no late stream tonight. It'll be a 2-hour stream. And yesterday, when I played Cyberpunk, all right, boy, was it different than basically the stuff I had done up to then. Because, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, when I played Cyberpunk, was arguably the best stream I've done of the game. Now, why was it? Why was it arguably the best stream? Because we did fun side content that had nothing to do with the main plot of the game, had nothing to do with the ridiculously immature, stupid themes of the game. And instead, they were basically like murder mysteries, thriller kind of investigations. It was fun. First, we had to hunt down someone who was kidnapping young males and basically abusing them physically, sometimes murdering them. Okay, the guy was a psychopath. And we had to go inside a brain dance of this guy to try to get clues to figure out who he was and what he was doing. It was an investigation, much like other detective games that I've played, and it was very fun. It was very, very unique and different from the rest of the game up to this point, all right? Then, we went ahead and did another side mission where we were investigating a covert group that were basically not only spying on, but mind controlling a couple of politicians. And that was completely unique. So we did this fun, unique stuff in the side content that really was just very different and actually quite entertaining. It was very good. Now, we're actually in the midst of another mission that's a follow-up to the detective mission. And I don't know what's going to happen with that. But from what I'm seeing, all right, Cyberpunk shines when it doesn't focus in on its core gameplay elements, and it focuses on good writing and story. That's when Cyberpunk actually shines as a video game. Whenever it has to go back to its, gunplay, or hacking, or stealth, it kind of fails. It kind of gets boring. Because, quite frankly, I don't feel that any of those gameplay elements are done at any capacity that they're better than any other game. I think the gunplay is very similar to, say, Borderlands. The hacking is very similar to, say, Deus Ex. And the stealth gameplay is kind of a combination of Deus Ex and Dishonored. It just doesn't feel unique at all. But when the game focuses in on great story and unique elements, like it did yesterday, it actually was really entertaining. So, for me, the reason that I've been criticizing the game so much is because I'm like, man, the game doesn't really feel like it has an identity. Yesterday, the game felt unique and had an identity. You know what I mean? So, it kind of was like, wow, this is what I wish the whole game was. I kind of wish the whole game you were a detective investigating these crimes. I honestly think the game would be better if that were the case. Okay? So tonight we're going to see what happens. Like I said, we've been doing the side missions, and I don't know. The real problem is you don't really know what the good side missions are. The game throws like 40 side missions at you all at once, right? And somehow you're supposed to understand, what's the good side content in the game. There's no way to know. You just got to start randomly doing missions and hope that you grab one that's good. Okay? So that being said, we'll see what happens tonight. 2 more hours, okay? Now, tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm off from streaming. This is the day when I run out and I do errands. I'll be grocery shopping. I'll be buying pet supplies, among other things, to be prepared for this holiday week, okay? So, no stream tomorrow, everyone, but I hope whatever you do tomorrow, you have a good time. I hope you have a good day. You're safe. If you would like to get caught up on all my playthroughs, you absolutely can over on DSPGaming on YouTube, where I archive them every single day. So you can give it a look. I've been doing so much stuff, it's likely you probably haven't been caught up on all of it. All right. I'll be back on Wednesday for my big holiday marathon celebration. All right. Wednesday is the day. What are we doing on Wednesday? Well, the stream will start the usual time, but it's going to be a marathon stream, meaning even though there will be breaks, the stream's never going to go away. It's going to be continuously running all day until like 7, 8 p.m. So it'll be a really long stream. And what are we doing during the stream? Well, first of all, a variety of games. All right, here are the games that will be played, for sure. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Fall Guys will be returning with a special holiday event because they have new holiday things they added to the game. The Angry Video Game Nerd video game. Scrat's Nutty Adventure, which is the Ice Age video game people have been asking me to play for years. I'm finally going to get to it. And Minecraft will return. We're going to go back to my Minecraft world for the first time in ages. And we're going to see what's going on. We're going to see if maybe we can see some of the new stuff in the Nether that was added months and months ago. Just kind of chilling, walking around and touring my world. Because we haven't been in my Minecraft world in so long. Potentially there's people who've never even seen it. So it's just going to be a way to get kind of chill. A chill section of the stream. Now, all that stuff's guaranteed. If some of that stuff doesn't work out, or if we have extra time, I can also play some old school Street Fighter. Or we could actually try out for the very first time Black Ops Cold War Zombies, which I have not touched at all. Okay? Excuse me. So, it could be pretty interesting. Alright? Could be pretty interesting. And I hope that you guys will join me for this marathon. Now, in addition to everything I just mentioned, I'll be dressed up in festive holiday attire for the stream. I will be drinking during this stream. So, some holiday-themed ales that I've purchased, some eggnog, and maybe something else. Special surprise. We'll talk about that during the stream. And in addition to all of that, there will be a live holiday-themed episode of DSP Tries It that will not be fast food. Unlike every DSP Tries It where I run out and grab a burger or something, it'll not be that at all. It'll be something completely different, holiday-themed, okay? So it's going to be a very special holiday event. I hope you guys will join me on Wednesday for the Christmas/holiday special, if at all you can. All right? It should be a special time. Everyone seems to really love when I do the holiday special. It's always a great festive time. All right? Then on Thursday, I will be here, but in a limited capacity. All right? A limited capacity. What will it be? I'll be doing a special holiday-themed episode of Ask the King. This is my Q&A show where I answer your questions. You guys have been posting up your questions for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. All right? The more questions I get, the better, by the way. And if you would like to include a question yourself for Thursday's Ask the King, please type ! Ask the King into the stream chat. All right? This will bring up a link where you can post up your questions. Please do. All right? And by the way, holiday-themed questions, very recommended. Obviously, that's some of the stuff we're going to want to talk about on Christmas Eve. All right? So, only one stream on Christmas Eve, this Thursday, Ask the King. It'll start a little bit later than usual, probably between 11:30 12 p.m., and it'll be running, 3+ hour stream where I answer your holiday-themed questions. Okay? Then, no stream Thursday night, and no streams on Friday. I'll be celebrating the holiday with my family here, okay? And already we got some cool special plans of things we're going to be doing. However, I'm not going to spoil those plans because I don't feel like spoiling them right now. Maybe I can tell you, maybe later in the week I'll tell you. Maybe during Holiday Ask the King I can tell you, key in on some of the stuff that we'll be doing, some of the special stuff. So yeah, and then I'll be back this weekend on Saturday. And on Saturday, we're going to continue on with Yakuza 7, another major stream. Saturday night is going to be the return of old school throwback Street Fighter, which I brought back on Friday, and man, was it successful. The attendance was great, contributions were great, everyone loved throwback Street Fighter and said, bring it back, we want more. So it's coming back this Saturday, okay? Then on Sunday, more Cyberpunk, and Sunday night is going to be Assassin's Creed continuing on. for those who didn't missed out on the stream the other night, we've returned back to the real world. We're finally done with the Asgard plotline for now, anyway. It looks like it'll continue later. And we're trying to take over, well, not take over, but we're trying to liberate London. London seems to be under the grip of the Order, which are the Proto-Templars, I should say. This is before they were actually called the Templars. And we're hunting down some of these Order members for the plot. So that's going to continue this Sunday. And I hope that you guys will join me for that. That should be pretty fun. And then Monday, it's going to be more Yakuza. And then Monday night, likely Black Ops Cold War, because at that point I wouldn't have played it all week, okay? So, should be good stuff. And I hope that you guys will join me for all of this stuff this next coming week. Now, on the agenda coming up, first of all, when it's time for a new game, which I don't feel it is yet, I want to get further in the 3 games that I'm playing, which would be Cyberpunk, Yakuza, and Assassin's Creed. So I want to get further in those games before I move on to a new one. But the first game I'm interested in playing, once we get an opportunity to do so, would be Immortals Fenyx Rising. This game came out earlier this month and was basically kind of glossed over by a lot of people because so much else was going on. I mean, people were already playing so many different games on the next-gen consoles, and then Cyberpunk came out, so it kind of trumped everything, right? Like, really, this game kind of got missed by a ton of people, which is unfortunate because I've heard it's quite a good game. So, Immortals Fenyx Rising is going to be the next thing on the agenda for me. And then there's many possibilities for the next game that I will be playing. One of the games I'm strongly considering is Hades, because that's a game that a lot of people actually nominated for Game of the Year 2020, and I never played it. So I actually feel like I kind of missed out, and I'm missing out on one of the great games of the year. So maybe I'll be playing that. In addition, I obviously want to play Sackboy's Big Adventure, or Sackboy A Big Adventure. I've wanted to play it ever since it came out on PlayStation 5, but I really just don't feel that it's worth the money. $60 for this game seems incredibly overpriced. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks, next few weeks, we'll see a decline in price on Sackboy. And in fact, I'm kind of predicting it. Reason being, I really feel that this game is a game that only sold for $60 because it was a launch title for PS5. PS5's now been out for over a month. And let's face it, by January, the hype of that shit is not going to be very hype anymore. Most people who are going to get it for Christmas will have it and everything. So I get the feeling you may start seeing some discounted prices, okay? So, if that's the case, I hope it'll be discounted, and I'd like to get it, and I would like to play it as a playthrough. Alright, so, those are the 3 games on my agenda right now. Immortals Fenyx Rising, Hades, and Sackboy A Big Adventure if it gets discounted in price. Alright, now in the month of January, there's a couple games that I'm interested in. The first would be Hitman 3. Obviously a big one that I'm interested in. I played the last 2 games, really enjoyed them. And the fact that this game will be running on PS5, I can't wait to see how Hitman looks on PS5. So, could be pretty damn sweet. Alright, then, later on in the month, I believe there's that game, The Medium. Now, it's an Xbox exclusive, but it's not clear if this game is only going to be on Xbox Series X, S, and X, or if it's also going to be on Xbox One. If it's on Xbox One, that's what I'm going to play it on. If it's only on S and X, then I don't know if I'll be able to play it. It depends on availability of those consoles, which have not been available. You can't buy them anywhere right now. So I think they'd be kind of shooting themselves in the foot. If this game really is an Xbox X and X exclusive, like, you're really killing yourself in sales because the consoles aren't available anywhere, right? Which would suck. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens with that, all right? Now also, okay? Also, that being said, I'm going to be working on my year-end series, which is twofold. It's the best games of the year, as well as the most disappointing games of the year countdown. Now, these are definitely happening when, likely it's going to be early January. Sometimes I would do it at the end of December, but being that I'm in the midst of 3 major playthroughs and I have not completed the games yet, I kind of feel like I'd be irresponsible to do the series before I kind of finished 3 major playthroughs. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I say, oh, best games of the year when I'm only like a third through Assassin's Creed, halfway through Yakuza, and roughly, let's say, you know, a third to halfway through Cyberpunk? That would kind of be irresponsible of me, right? So, likely, the year-end series are going to be a little bit later this year than usual, just because there's so many major games. I have to wrap up some of these games before I get a chance to really rank them against each other, okay? So, we'll see what happens, but, yeah, my year-end series are going to happen, just likely first or second week of January rather than end of December. Okay? In addition to that, people have expressed major interest in me doing a series where I'm going to rank the games of the last console generation, the best and worst of last console gen, now that console gen of PS4, Xbox One, and let's face it, second half of the Wii U and kind of first half of the Switch is now over. I'd love to do that. And in fact, I would definitely like to do that, but it's about time, right? Will time permit it? When will I have a chance to do it? Let's see what happens, okay? Maybe it'll be like end of January. I'll do a countdown like that or something like that, okay? So, this is what I'm planning. Of course, keep in mind, one of the coolest things about being an independent guy is that I can change my schedule on the fly whenever I need to. If something else comes up, if there's a surprise release, if there's a new viral hit, if something you guys want to see me do, I can change the schedule whenever. I'm not limited to what I'm already doing, and therefore we can mix stuff up whenever we need to. That's a cool thing. I very much enjoy having that power, all right? So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. But this is what I'm planning on roughly for the next month-ish, okay? Hope this sounds great. In particular, I really hope you guys will show up for the holiday stuff this week. You know, I always wonder when I'm broadcasting around a major holiday, are people going to come by because you may be busy with your own personal stuff, which I totally understand. But usually the holiday stuff is quality, and you guys usually seem to like to chill around the holidays and have fun, and I'm excited for that. Okay, good stuff. Oh my God, that is absolutely have a holly jolly belch, everyone. That is absolutely disgusting, and I apologize for it. Holly jolly belches. Okay. Now, all that being said, thank you guys for all of your support. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great year for my streams. The popularity of my streams has increased. The amount of support on my streams has definitely increased. The positivity around my streams, are you kidding me, has dramatically increased this year. All right? My public image, even though it's not great, in my opinion, is better than it has been in many different years. And I'm very excited for the future because things have gone so well this year with my streams. Seriously. Thank you for that. Thank you for an awesome year. Ladies and gents, you realize I am independent, right? I don't have any sponsorship with anybody. I do not have a contract to stream on any streaming service, and I don't get paid for streaming. My streams are 100% free, and they always will be, all right? The reason that I'm able to be a true independent and the fact that I'm able to share my honest opinions with you every single day, I don't have to shill for anyone. I don't have to pull punches. I can be completely and 100% transparent with you guys. The reason for that is because of you. Because you guys crowdfund my efforts to do this. If it weren't for you, I would not still be here. Remember, I started doing videos 12 years ago, and I started doing this for a living over 10 years ago. A decade of my life, I've been a content creator, truly independent and standing alone among everyone else who has to go shill and everyone who has to have all these product placements and everyone who has to advertise and, oh, I have a NDA and I can't talk about this and I can't talk about that. I'm not like that. I'm completely the opposite. I'm an independent content creator because you guys like the fact that I'm honest with you on a daily basis and you support my streams. And I appreciate that so much. Seriously. I appreciate that so much because I love what I do. I love being with you every day and hanging out with you, talking games, talking fun, pop culture, having a good time, having fun discussions, but enjoying games for face value. If it weren't for you guys this year, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed half the games that I did because you suggested so many great games and we had so many different interactive events where you guys suggested stuff that I tried. I was like, wow, that was really good. And, you know, excellent stuff. All right? Absolutely excellent stuff. And I really love it. So, if you like my content, if you like me as a person, if you support my efforts to continue to be a strong, independent individual, please consider supporting the streams today if you can. Now, I'll say this up front. Contributions are not mandatory on my streams, nor are they expected. I consider it if you contribute to my stream in any way, you are going above and beyond what would be expected of you, okay? And I appreciate that. I really do, because, again, you're the reason why I'm still here because of that level of support. All right. But all that being said, all right, thank you in advance if you even consider supporting my streams because it really does help. It keeps stuff going around here. You know, everything that I do is because of your crowdfunding. You know, you really. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be grocery shopping because you guys crowdfund me and support me. I can use your funds to help me out, right? So, really cool. And again, thank you in advance for that level of support. Okay? So, let's talk a little bit. What exactly can you do if you want to support the streams? Well, you could cheer with bits, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can tip me. You can do any of those things. And if you do those things, I will give you a live shout out during the stream as long as your message is in line with the positivity of the streams. Obviously, people are doing insults and stupid shit. At my discretion, I don't have to read every single thing that comes in, especially if someone's trying to be a jerk or derail the stream, okay? But I do my best to show my gratefulness of the contributions by giving you guys shout outs, all right? In particular, the way that would help me support me the best right now would be by tipping me. When you tip me, that helps me immediately. Those are funds I can use immediately for something important, especially tomorrow. Like I said, my day off, I'm going out running errands, so your funds will help me with that, okay? Now, I must say this up front, 2 important things. First of all, sadly this year, the last few months, there's been a really malicious person out there, or persons, but I do believe it's the same person, who's actually committing crimes on a daily basis to try to hurt me on my streams, if you can believe it. This person is purchasing stolen credit cards, okay? Numbers off the internet. And they are sending me fake tips, sometimes even impersonating regular stream chatters, in order to try to screw me over, all right? And what happens is they'll use a stolen credit card, tip me, and then I think it's real, so I count that as, funds. I can sometimes use that money for important stuff, and then I get charged back later on, meaning that a claim was filed against that transaction saying it wasn't authorized. And it could screw me over because, number one, I lose the money, and number two, there could be problems with my PayPal account. It could end up being fees and holdups and all kinds of issues because of these chargebacks, all right? So recently, what I've tried to do is nip this problem in the butt. Whenever a contribution comes in via a tip, I look at it and try to see, is this legit or not? Is this one that's someone who has a registered PayPal account and all their personal information is listed and therefore it's legit? Or is this someone who's using the anonymous credit card checkout to hide their identity, and chances are that's a bogus tip, okay? So I apologize because sometimes I have to hold up a stream in order to check on this stuff. And obviously I don't enjoy doing that. I just want to, I'm all here about the gameplay. I'm here to hang out with you guys. I'm here to have a good time. That's what I'm all about. That's what it's always been about. It's not about the money. But sadly, this is also my business, and I have to now kind of audit contributions coming in because this person has been breaking the law on a daily basis. You realize every time someone does a fake tip like that, it's a felony. So this person is doing it daily. You're talking someone who's been committing felonies on a daily basis for months, and if anyone were ever catch them, they'd be going to jail for quite a long time. Okay, that's how serious the issue is, but they think it's a joke because they get away with it on the internet. So that being said, okay, apologies in advance if I have to, check on stuff while we're actually streaming here. By the way, let me test something here. Test. Test. Can everyone see the chat that I just typed? I typed test into the stream chat. Can I check that there? You guys see it? Yeah, because my stream chat was screwed up. And this was an issue. Okay, good. I was basically trying to refresh my stream chat to make it work. And I wanted to be sure that it was working. So I typed test and everyone's responding. So apparently everyone saw it. Okay, cool. All right. So apologies in advance if a contribution comes in and I do have to check it. It is what it is. I have to verify it. That's just part of the situation that I'm under now. Speaking of which, since this obviously has directly to do with it, if you are a regular contributor to my streams, if you're a regular attendee of my streams, all right, and if you enjoy my streaming content, all right, I would ask you in advance, if you're going to tip me, please, folks, create a verified PayPal account. What does that mean? It means that you have a PayPal account that is logged in and has your real information, including things such as your name, address, and bank account. Now, understand something. If you create a verified PayPal account and you tip me, I see none of that information. The only info I can see is an email address. But I can actually see if it's a verified account or not. It tells me that. So when I see, I got a tip from a verified account, I know to trust that it's a real tip because someone has their real information on the line. And if, like, for example, they were to try to commit fraud I could immediately hit them back and say, no, that's not correct. Here's what really happened. It was a tip during a live stream. You know, basically, you know, putting your real info in there gives me protections. While if you're just doing anonymous credit card tips, there's really no protection. Someone could charge that back at any time, and it screws over the streamer, you know. So rest assured, if you create a verified PayPal account, your information is safe. You're not going to get doxxed or anything. And it allows me to have extra protection, so I know I can trust your tips, okay? Some people have done this in the last few weeks, and I really appreciate those who have, because it lets me know that everything is okay, and I don't have to worry or second guess every contribution coming into the streams. All right? Thank you. Thank you, and thank you some more to those who've been supportive of the streams recently, and of course, those who are tipping via a verified account. Thank you so much, okay? Okay, thank you guys. All right, let us now continue, and let's move on to shout-outs. No such a surprise, I don't see anyone's first and last name. Shut up. And I mean that. Shut up, because what you're doing is you're trying to spin things in a negative way that's not true. All right? I just explained. The only thing that I can 100% guaranteed see is an email address and see if the account is verified or not. That's it. Any other information is what you choose to list. You could say your name is Peanut Butter Jelly Time, and all I'll see is Peanut Butter Jelly Time sent me a tip. Right? Now stop it. Shut up. He's trying to spread misinformation. He's like, oh, can I see, you can see their real name? No, I can't. Jesus. Okay. Let's do some shout outs, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So I got a couple overnight tips, and it's from Travis Johnson. So thank you for Travis Johnson for the overnight tips. A couple small tips here. First one, he says, I'm 22. I watch your playthroughs on and off since I was maybe 14. I'm on level 22, SC36. Huh? What does that mean? Then he says, I want to tell you to get Mantis Blades. Well, this sounds like he's talking about Cyberpunk, because Mantis Blades are a weapon attachment you can get in Cyberpunk. He says, they shred everything. They're the best CC weapon. CC weapon. Maybe he means close combat. Okay. Best close combat weapon in the game. Go to the inventory and click your cyber deck to equip the Hood Quick Hacks. Huh? Equip the Hood Quick Hacks? What does that mean? Anyway, continuing on, he tipped again. He said, there are free legendary Mantis Blades in a box in a room in the Arasaka Tower. They spawn there. You can find the location vid on YouTube. Sorry. No, it says also try out the gig. Cyber Psycho Bloody Ritual shit was mad creepy. It gave me Sam Dean Supernatural vibes. Huh? I don't know what he's saying. I think he just tried to give me so much advice on Cyberpunk that it all got garbled together. I have no idea what he just said. Alright, piecing this together. I think he's saying, number one, Mantis Blades are great, and I should get Mantis Blades. There's a free set of Mantis Blades inside Arasaka Tower somewhere. Number two, the Cyber Psycho quest line, which I believe he's saying is part of the gig side quests, is really good, and it has a Sam Dean vibe. I'm trying to remember what Sam Dean is. It sounds familiar, but at the same time, it's not. Like, I don't remember off the top of my head. So anyway, I think that's what he's trying to say. Thank you, Travis, for the tips overnight. I wish I fully understood what you were saying. You're not here, obviously. This was several hours ago that you tipped me overnight. But thank you. And hopefully, you know, a lot of people have been saying Mantis Blades changed the whole... Oh, Sam Dean is from this TV show Supernatural. I've never seen it. No wonder I didn't know what he was talking about. I've never seen that show at all. Okay. So anyway, got it. Thank you, Travis, for your input. And I will see if I can... I just got Double Jump, which everyone told me completely changes the game. And now I guess Mantis Blades would be the next best thing to get. And that'll probably change the game again. All right? So we'll see if I can save up. I think I still needed... I either needed more street cred or a lot more money. I think it was more money, because I think I had the street cred now. I just need more money now to get that. So, we'll see what happens. Okay. Doppelganger is the first cheer of today. They did a 100-bit cheer. They said, I heard you're going to do a special DSP Tries It where you try Mr. Beast Burger. Pretty excited to see your take on it. No, that's not going to happen. I said it yesterday. I'm not interested in YouTube burgers. But anyway, actually, the menu was posted online on Twitter, and I looked at it, and it doesn't look very good. I'm being honest. The burgers are just kind of like, there's nothing special about them. From what I saw, it's basically just like standard burger stuff. Like, it doesn't seem to be special in any way. It's not higher grade beef. They're not preparing it in any special way. It just seems like, you know, what's the difference? I don't get it. Besides the fact that this is from a big YouTuber guy who's rich, I don't see what the appeal is of the Beast Burger. Maybe I'm wrong, and if you guys can explain to me why this would be something interesting. But to my knowledge, there's no Beast Burger around here. It's a brand new franchise, apparently. But, yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think there's anything special about it. Again, if you guys want to tell me, oh, no, it's different, here's why. Great, I'd be willing to listen. But from the menu I saw, didn't look very special to me at all. So, okay. Golden Colts cheered. He says, Burger King is launching a $1 menu as Mary American... what the hell? Let's try this again. Marbles in my mouth. Okay. Let's try this again. Burger King is launching a $1 menu as many Americans struggle financially through the pandemic-induced recession. On Monday, Burger King announced it would debut a $1 Your Way menu on December 28th. The menu will consist of 4 items, all priced at $1. A bacon cheeseburger, that sounds good. A chicken junior sandwich, that's new. Fries, oh, that was absolutely brand new. Right. And a soft drink. The $1 menu's back. Ellie Doty, Burger King North America's chief marketing officer, told Business Insider, adding a lot of customers have really missed it. Yeah, it's like I told you guys, we were actually just talking about this the other day. McDonald's started the whole $1 menu thing because they wanted to bring a new clientele into their business that didn't have a lot of money, and basically they wanted to bring those customers in. But then basically the franchisees, the people who actually own the McDonald's, complained because they said, you're bringing in a customer base who only spend like $4, and in reality, we don't make profit on this. Like, we the whole idea was to bring more customers to our stores with the value menu, but we don't make money on it. And if people are just coming buying value menu items, now we make no money. So that's why a lot of these places had value menus for a while, that they did away with them. So it sounds like Burger King's bringing them back, right? I don't know what that chicken junior sandwich is going to be. That's new. But the bacon cheeseburger sounds good to me. I like Burger King burgers. So a little cheeseburger with some, condiments on it, pickles and bacon. That sounds pretty good for $1. Yummy. Now I'm hungry. Golden Coast Street again says there's not a single mass-produced cookie that surpasses the Pepperidge Farm Double Dark Chocolate Milano. Prove me wrong. I know exactly what that is, the Milano. I've had it. My mom used to eat Milano cookies all the time when I was a kid, and so every once in a while I would sneak one. No, she would let me have them. They're pretty good, admittedly. Okay. So someone named Doc Duffel tipped me a few dollar tips here, and they were all done through anonymous checkout. I just explained on the stream why these anonymous credit card checkout tips are very risky, and I don't know if I should trust them or not. Now, Doc Duffel actually asked a few legit questions. Someone sounds like they're actually a fan of the stream. So I hope this is real. By the way, Doc Duffel, are you even on the stream? If you're here, say, hello, I'm here, and tag me in the stream chat. But I don't know if you're actually here on the stream or if these are just anonymous tips that you did, during the live stream and you're not in the stream chat. I don't know. Excuse me. So, the first tip here, all right, tip me $1, and he says, are you going to buy the disc version of Hitman 3 like the unfinished Hitman 2? No. I haven't bought a disc in a million years. I have no plans on buying disc versions of games moving forward unless there's an absolute reason to. Like, maybe they're cheaper. Like, for example, a couple years ago, I was able to get a few games much cheaper buying the disc version off of, like, Amazon than I was buying the physical versions. Or, excuse me, the digital versions. So, we'll see. But, in general, no, I'm not going to buy the disc version. When you buy the disc version, you're not even buying the game. What you're buying is a license for a game that's unfinished on the disc, and then you got to digitally download the rest of it anyway. So, excuse me, that's absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry about that. But no, I'm not going to be buying the disc version of the games. Okay? Yes, I do have the PlayStation 5 that has the disc drive. It's not even the one that I wanted. I wanted the digital, but I couldn't get it. It sold out everywhere. The only one I could order was the one with the disc. So, which is why I have it. Okay? Saitama2246 has resubscribed for 4 months and says, how did you train when you used to play Street Fighter competitively? Well, there were 2 ways that I trained. Actually, in reality, there were 3 ways that I trained. The first way I trained is going to my local arcades when they actually existed, which they don't anymore. But when local arcades existed, it was a hotbed of activity for Street Fighter. You would go there, and you'd have a variety of people from all walks of life who'd be walking in and playing each other. And it was a good way to get exposure to other playstyle methods, but also it was a way to test your own, things that you wanted to see if they would work or if they were viable. So your local arcade, local scene was super duper important. But you can't just play at your local scene because then you don't get exposed to other styles of gameplay. Keep in mind, back then when I used to train for Street Fighter, there was no internet-based sharing. There was no YouTube. There was no Twitch. Forums were like primitive. People would try to post up combos and shit, and you would not understand what the fuck they were saying because it was all text-based. Okay? So in reality, you had to travel. And there were 2 ways that you could do this. You could either go to another local hotbed. So for example, for me, that would be going to, say, New York City, Chinatown Fair, which is the big arcade in New York City. And I would try to play against a variety of people there, and again, get exposed to new play styles and the like. Or there was another one called 8 on the Break, and that was in Dunellen, New Jersey. I have no idea if they still exist. Probably not. But this was another major arcade in New Jersey where people would go, and you would get exposed to, again, another variety of play styles. Okay? Now, in addition to just traveling to other arcades and hotbeds of activity, you could also go to tournaments. And tournaments ranged greatly. Sometimes it would be arcade-based tournaments. Sometimes it would be console-based tournament. But tournaments were great because obviously people were coming to compete, and you'd be exposed to competitive-style gameplay in a lot of ways for the very first time. Just because you're playing people locally doesn't mean that those people know what they're doing. And so you go and play really great people in a competitive setting. All right? So it would be, number 1, playing locally, but then also traveling to other arcades and hotbeds in your area that maybe you didn't usually go to, and then going to tournaments. Now, later on, things changed, because then most of these games were ported to consoles, and it would be about having like a console gathering where people would get together and play games and train. And there were several training sessions and things that I would attend to try to practice up. And then in addition to that, once games started going online, you could train online to some capacity. However, I found in my experience, the online gameplay experience has never been up to snuff with the offline gameplay experience due to input delay, as well as lag and dropped inputs, and it's just not as good. Can you learn general strategies online that work? Yes. At the same time, you can learn bad habits. Because, for example, online, because of the delay, you may think that something you're doing online that people can't seem to counter is very safe, and then you try to do it offline, and someone beats it every time because they can react to it because there's no lag. So that happened to me many times. Oh, I'm playing a game online. I think this works. And you go to do it offline and you get destroyed. You're like, son of a fucking bitch. I didn't know that. That's why the in-person experience always has been a very important factor when it came to leveling up in competitive fighting games. Okay? So there's your answer. Doc Duffel tipped me another $1, said, could the Scrat game have eligibility for a full playthrough if you like it enough? Yes, it could. I don't know if I'll like it enough. I don't know if people will like it as much as I do on Wednesday's Christmas Marathon, but yes. Fred Kaczynski, cheers. I genuinely, none of us would care if you had a contract and were unable to tell us details about how much you were making, but never had to ask for money. Again, it wasn't constant life or death situation financially. It's not a constant life or death situation financially, and it hasn't been in quite some time, so I don't know what you're talking about. This year in particular, things have gotten a lot better for me behind the scenes financially, so I don't know what you mean by that, because I'm not like that anymore. But here's the thing, and here's the problem, Fred. There's always a trade-off. So if I right now were to get a sponsorship with someone, all right, I would have to shill that product constantly. All right? I just would have to. It would be part of my streams to shill. People don't like that. They don't want to hear me hawking a product. They don't want to hear me kissing a game's ass. They want me to be honest. And in the few sponsorships I've had over the years, I feel that it's my honesty that really doesn't make me appealing to a wide audience of sponsors. For example, I had a Loot Crate sponsorship for about 2.5 years, and by the time that the Loot Crate sponsorship ended, I barely even cared about it. I was like, wow, this is junk. I was being honest with you guys in the unboxing videos. Like, there's a lot of junk in this one, you know? So, of course, Loot Crate doesn't want me as a sponsor because I'm telling everyone that the stuff they're sending me is junk, because it was, you know? I'm not going to kiss a game's ass, a product's ass. I've just never been like that, okay? Absolutely never been like that at all. So, please understand, I would be changing my entire person, my entire persona, the entire reason that I do this on the internet is to be honest with you. That's why I feel I've had longevity, because Phil Burnell, aka Darkside Phil, is no shill. I'm here to be honest and have real reactions to games every single day. And that's why people come to tune into me. They're not coming in to see, you want to see product placements, you want to see people who are making it big and getting a paycheck every day. Go check out one of the top streamers, right? They're going to have 1 million ads on their stream, shilling products, NDAs, I'm playing a game early, but I can't criticize the game. It's just a paid advertisement stream. Go watch that if you want, and that's fine. If that's the kind of product you like, go ahead. But I'm not like that, and I would never support that. That's not what I'm all about. So, Fred, I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand that it's kind of a double-edged sword. Sure, if I never had to talk about crowdfunding, I never had to tell you guys, hey, I need your support, please support the streams, I'm sure that would be a positive. At the very same time, I'd have to be a shill, and I don't want to be that. You're never going to see me change who I am as a person and change my whole methodology of the content that I put out there, because that's why I'm still here, right? How many people can you say have been a consistent 12-year content creator, right? Not many. They're out there. There's probably a couple hundred people who've been around the block like me, but few and far between. Most people have started way after me, jumped on a trend and got hot and popular because of that. I'm here and I have the longevity I have because of who I am. I'm not going to change my identity to make it big and make some money. I'm not, that's not who I've turned down many opportunities over the years. So many companies reached out to me. Will you represent my game? Will you do this? Will you do that? No. That's not what I do. That's not what I want to do. I feel that would be irresponsible. So, I understand what you're saying, Fred. At the same time, that's not me, and it's not going to be me, okay? Golden Cold Shoe said, what's your thoughts on Jägermeister Herbal Liquor, or Liqueur? It's another OG streamer named Only Use Me Blade's favorite liquor. I've had Jaeger before. It's interesting. It definitely tastes very weird. Some people would say it tastes like cough syrup. It has an odd taste to it. It definitely is unique. It's hilarious because I used to drink it, and people, some of the people who drank it with me were like, oh, it's deer's blood is in there. I was like, do you really think they fucking put deer blood in this liquor? I'm pretty sure that there'd be a high risk for bloodborne illness, and they're not going to do that. So, but it's weird. It tastes odd. I've had shots of it, and I've also had it mixed in with other drinks. I think it works better as an ingredient in other drinks. But I've never just sat there and drank it constantly or anything like that. Okay? Fred Kaczynski cheered again. He said, when you say an account is verified and their information is listed, you mean nothing more than their email because you told us you can't see information. That's right. So if I'm in PayPal and I get a tip, I click on the tip, and what it'll do is it'll show me information about that tip. It'll show me, number one, did that tip come from a PayPal account or did it come from an anonymous credit card checkout? All right? It won't give me any information further than that, but it'll tell me, is it a PayPal account or anonymous checkout? All right? Then, if it's a PayPal account, it'll tell me, was it verified or unverified? Okay? The only other information I see is an email address, and that's the email address you provide to PayPal when you create your account, and whatever your name is that you chose to use when you created that account. It could be like Johnny Peanut Butter and Jelly. That could be your name on there. You create whatever name you want when you make that PayPal account. So, excuse me. That's all I can see. Your email address, whatever name you chose to represent you when you created that account, and if you're using a PayPal account, and if it's verified or not. That's the information I see. That's it. I don't get to see how you paid. Like, did you use a bank account? Did you use a credit card? I don't see any of that. I don't see any data. I don't see your address. I don't see your phone number. I don't see anything. It's just very general information that they allow me to see. Okay? Doc Duffel tipped $1, says, do you think it's possible, by coincidence, one of the stolen credit cards happened to belong to a regular contributor and their tip? No. You're going way down the fucking rabbit hole. The credit cards are stolen. I know as much because what'll happen is I'll get a tip. It'll say anonymous tip via anonymous credit card or whatever, right? But then, for example, I'll get a charge back 2 weeks later, and then I'll actually get contacted by a real person. It'll be like, Adam Smith is saying that credit card transaction was his, but he didn't do it. It wasn't authorized, and he wants his money back. Okay, that's what happens. And the funny thing is, sometimes, for example, we'll get someone who comes in here, and within 10 minutes, there'll be 5 tips, all in the same name. So the name will be like, Phil's biggest fan, number 1. $5 tip, $5 tip, $5 tip, $5 tip. All right? But then, all of a sudden, all those tips will get charged back weeks later. One is from Adam Smith. One is from Donnie Jones. One is from Amanda Lawler. And they're all different. So you see what happens is that this guy has all these stolen credit cards, and he'll do a bunch of fake tips in one name to make it sound like it's legit. And then all of a sudden, weeks later, I'll find out these were all different stolen credit card numbers that this guy used. You see? Pretty fucked up. So, yeah, it's terrible. And every time it's a felony this guy's committing. And he's been doing this for months on end. And that's why I have to do this whole tip verification shit that I don't like to do, but I have to. Shout out to Ace Best, who has resubscribed for a whopping, ladies and gentlemen, 55 months. 55 months. Ace Best is one of my longest standing supporters of my streaming ever. In fact, I'm almost positive it's him and Super Blind Man are actually, I think, the 2 longest ongoing subs to my channel. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that it's him and Super Blind Man who, like, subbed on day 1 when I started streaming years and years ago. Or at least when I got into the partnership program and people were able to sub. Like, they were some of the first people who jumped on that and have been supporting me ever since. All right? So thank you very much, Ace Best. In fact, the only reason that you don't see these guys as longer subs is because I actually went away from Twitch for a while. If you remember, I left Twitch to stream on YouTube for about 1.5 years, and then I came back. I'm sure if I had stayed on Twitch the whole time, these guys probably would have been like 70+ month subs, if not longer. Okay? So thank you so much, Ace Best, for the super duper long standing support. That is very much appreciated, and happy holidays to you. Excuse me. LP101 tipped me $1 and says, stay high like a butterfly, fly high like a butterfly, going into overdrive like a butterfly. Yeah, Ichiban. What? Anyway, thanks for the $1 tip. Actually, that's a reference to Yakuza, I believe. I think that was one of the songs or something. Thank you. Oops, I wanted to type 4 and I typed 5. There we go. Big Bad Buffoon did a 100-bit cheer. And he says, have you attended an event in Madison Square Garden? Why do they call it the most famous arena? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gone to MSG. I'm trying to remember now. No, I don't think so. Nope, I've never been to MSG for any event. They called it the world's most famous arena because it's a very long-standing arena in New York City, and many huge events have taken place. You know, sporting events, concerts, conventions and gatherings, things that have a worldwide attendance, right? People from all over the world have gone there for special events. That's why they call it one of the most famous arenas in the country. Rubbly Atomic cheers. Says, do you think Street Fighter came about in your life at the right precise time, or do you think it's an important part of your life because of the memories you share with it? Thanks for answering. You know, it was pretty unique because I was into arcade culture at the time, but I was into the side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons, stuff like that. And when Street Fighter came out, oh my God, it was a cultural revolution. It really did become this thing that caught on hugely within the youth of America. And I was part of that fringe culture who loved it. And because of that, it became a major part of my life. You know, it is a case of right place, right time. Because if I hadn't been into arcade culture, maybe I never would have caught on to Street Fighter. I was there the release day of Street Fighter. The first day it debuted, I was there in the arcade, and there was giant lines to play it. It was pretty crazy. Local Nomad did a 200-bit cheer. So that is actually the biggest cheer of the day. He says, one thing you don't get enough credit for is you shout out 99% of contributions. It's very uncommon for many streamers, and I'd be hilarious if you missed and don't shout out this cheer. I do my best. I've told you guys this. I'm incredibly grateful for your contributions. You guys, again, are the reason that I'm here. And you know what? I'll say this. The bigger streamers probably don't shout out everything for 2 reasons. Number 1, because they're not relying on those contributions. They have contracts with Twitch. They have sponsorships. They don't need your contribution. All right? I'm going to repeat that because I think a lot of people don't seem to understand this. They don't need your financial contributions. They're already rich. Those big streamers who are bringing in giant views are getting paid to do so. You're literally lining their pockets with fucking extra money when you contribute to one of their streams. You understand that? Why do you think they can do giant charity events? Why do you think that they don't have super consistent schedules? They don't need to be here every day like me because they're rich. You know? So why on earth would they go the extra mile to shout out every contribution when it doesn't even matter if they get them? Right? Being honest here. Okay? And now, by the way, I'm not talking shit about those streamers. And if I was a giant streamer like that, and I had a giant amount of contributions coming out, I probably would have a lot of problems shouting them all out. Just being honest. It probably would be very challenging for me to actually shout out every single contribution because there'd be so many coming in. But that's one of the things that I like about myself, my streams, and my viewing audience is that because of who I am, because of the level of attendance that I get, I can shout out the vast majority of contributions, and I really feel grateful that you guys contribute and allow me to do what I love for a living. I hope you understand that. You know, that's why I do it. I don't gloss over, unless it goes to some asshole who's trying to derail the stream with nonsense, or someone who's saying something disgusting or insulting, then of course I'm going to skip over it. But in general, you say something nice or positive, or even just silly, I'm going to give you a shout out because you deserve it, because you're the people who enable me to do what I love. And I'm so grateful for that, all right? But you got to understand that that's the difference between me and these big streamers. I have no idea why people compare me to them. I'm serious. I'm not in anywhere near the league of someone who's a big streamer on Twitch, who gets a giant audience, who's rolling in fucking dough, and doesn't even need the contributions because they already have paid contracts. Like, why on earth do people think that I'm the same as them? I'm the furthest from them as possible. And by the way, I've done that on purpose. I've distanced myself from being that kind of content creator. That's why I'm still pertinent. All right? So thank you, Local Nomad, for the biggest cheer of the day. Ninstar Rune cheered. He said, I sent a check for $100 postmarked today. No, you didn't. Golden Colts resubscribed for 43 months. Golden Colts, thank you so much for the long-standing support. Okay, guess what? Guess what? Ladies and gentlemen. It's time for shout-outs, but today's Monday. What does that mean? It means that per Twitch's criteria, today they consider the first day of the streaming week. And that means that the leaderboards have reset. So today's a great opportunity if you would like to get noticed this week to being a top contributor to the streams by either cheering or gifting subscriptions to the channel. Today would be a great day to do that because the leaderboard reset and pretty much it's very easy to get into the top 10. Okay? So for example, let's give shout outs to the top 10 cheerers of the week so far. In 10th place, we've got Ripley Atomic. In 7th place, we've got Ripley Atomic because we don't even have 10 cheerers yet. In 6th place, we've got Ninstar Rune. Then we have a triple tie between Doppelganger, Fred Kaczynski, and Big Bad Buffoon for 3rd place. 2nd place is Golden Colts, and in 1st place, Local Nomad. So thank you guys very, very, very much for the cheers this morning. Currently, we have 0 gifted subs. 0. None. Nada. Zip. Oi. But that's okay. It's a new week, right, guys? All right. So currently, Local Nomad is the top cheerer of the stream, and Doc Duffel has tipped a few dollar tips and is the top tipper, although also we had LP101 who tipped $1, so kind of tied, but Doc Duffel gets up there because he tipped first, all right? All right, so a couple of quick reminders. First of all, thank you in advance for any support on the stream. Again, I depend on your contributions to keep stuff going. Today, I would prefer tips. If you can tip me, please do, but if you want to cheer, you want to sub, want to gift subs to other stream viewers, by all means, that helps as well. Thank you in advance for that. Apologies if I have to do some auditing of tips when they come in to protect my business, but I just have to do it. What we're going to do is take a quick break. I'm going to use the restroom, and when we come back, it's going to be Yakuza 7 continuing. Now, remember, we're in the midst of the Ichiban Confections minigame. We're going to finish that up and get to the top 50 corporations, and then we're going to move on and do some more content. So we'll see how it goes, but it should be a great stream. By the way, Ripley Atomic just did a 600-bit cheer and said 7th place. Actually, now Ripley Atomic is in 1st place for the week. So thank you, Ripley Atomic, for that. Let's get you on the leaderboard. 600 bits. And I appreciate that very much. Also, Big Bad Buffoon just cheers to Doc Duffel is the name of a YouTube channel that has an Andy Dick meme video, so it might be a joke. Well, there you go. It might be. It could be a troll. I don't know. All right, guys, thank you very much. Let's take a break. I'll be back shortly with more fun on the stream and the continuation of Yakuza 7. I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you guys very much.